You wander from room to room, hunting for the diamond necklace that is already around your neck. That is a quote from Rumi, who was a 13th century poet and Sufi mystic, and I have always been fascinated by that quote. And after 26 years on the personal growth journey and the spiritual journey, I think I finally have an inkling of how important that quote is, and that it points to a sickness of society and a psychosis of our own minds and egos, and how it points to where our peace and happiness and joy and expansion and freedom exists. And in the past, when I heard quotes like this, I'll be really honest, here's what I thought. Oh, that's so beautiful and that's so inspiring, and yada, 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 I'm too busy doing all the stuff to really actually embody what those words are saying. So in this video, I'm just going to share my own personal reflections on this and some fairly crystal clear knowingness and insight that's arisen, which has given me a great deal of peace. I'm 44 now, and my level of peace is ever increasing the more I slow the grip of the ego, the busyness of the body, the contortedness of the mind and what it can do to us. So, you know, the quote says, you wander from room to room, seeking, searching, or the word used in this quote is hunting for the diamond necklace being everything you want, all the shiny baubles, all the things that you think are desirable. And I don't mean things as a material objects, whatever it is, the peace, the joy, the happiness, the searching. Is it here? Is it there? Is it in this relationship? Is it in this job? Is it in this location? And there dawns a point upon us that we realize that what we have been seeking, we have already always had. And let me proviso this whole conversation with something really important. I freaking love exploration. I ain't going to stop exploring until I am dead. And even then I'll be exploring as a soul. But I mean like curiosity and adventuring and digging below the surface and asking interesting questions and expanding understanding and visiting new places and trying new things and having experiences. That is beautiful. That is exploration and expansion, but that is very different to needy seeking and needy searching. And I've done both. I've done the needy seeking and searching, and it does not feel good. And sometimes when you're doing it, you don't even realize that that's really what you're doing. And you can trick yourself, and I mean your ego and mind can trick your knowingness and your sweet, soft center soul into thinking that what you're doing is curious exploration, when really what you're doing is seeking and searching for something that you are never going to find. It's all about balance, right? And so what do we go out seeking and searching for? What are some common examples of it? And where can we how can we more reliably, without anyone's help, without anything external, get all those things instantly? So these are just some random examples. We can go searching for room to room out in the world for God, source, divinity, signs of a higher power, and And you are a physical manifestation of that whichever you believe in. So if you believe in universal intelligence, you are it, manifest in a human body. So you can go searching all you want out in the world, but it's looking right back at you in the mirror. If you are a person of religious faith and you utilize the word God in your cherished faith, you might have heard the phrase, you are a child of God. God is in you, through you. God is looking right back at you when you look in the mirror. Does that mean you are God? It means you are a manifestation of God, consciousness, love. We can go out searching, and what we don't realize is that, yes, that is manifest in everything around you, in all the light and all the dark and all the creatures and all the people and all the places on the planet, but it's also manifest right here where you sit and stand. And it's not egoic to say that you are a manifestation of that. It's just acknowledging and honoring that your beingness stems from that, right? And so it takes away the need to see that as external and that you've got to go somewhere. I've got to go to this place because that's the energy center, or that's the place of miracles, or that's the space I have to be in and learn from certain people in order to find my way. Right? I need to find my way to that. No, you don't need to do that. You can if you want, if it's curious and joyful and exploratory, but you don't have to do that because it's right here. Put your hand on your heart and feel your heart beating. Feel your pulse. Breathe the life force into your body. Equally, we can go out searching, seeking in the world, hunting from room to room for the diamond necklace that's already around your neck, being I'm searching for answers. I'm trying to find answers. I need answers to my questions. Now remember, there are lots of answers outside of you. Google's wonderful, and so are great, interesting experts and teachers and all the things and all the ways and all the areas of your life that you want to learn and grow, of course. But there are a lot of people on the seeking, searching journey who are looking for answers to all sorts of things. Who am I? My life purpose? How do I heal myself? Da 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 da. The list goes on. It's long. And there is no greater authority in your life than the voice that you will hear deep within when you are still with yourself. And it may not go, da-da, here are all the answers to all your questions about everything, but you will get the next most appropriate and obvious insight that will help you on your unfolding journey. But people don't want to do that because I don't trust myself. I don't know if that thing inside is right, and I would rather trust this doctor or the government or the person on the TV show or the person who wrote this book or this academic or this teacher or whatever, the person who wrote a blog post when I googled it. You're willing to trust everybody else before you'll trust yourself. And all of those people are manifestations of one source energy too, and are beautifully channeling their own stuff into the world. And sometimes it's their stuff and sometimes it's pure stuff. But you are too. And so it's not to say don't learn from outside of yourself, but there are a lot of answers to your own questions. And I know this from over a decade of coaching people, that when they come to me, I can usually get them within a very short space of time to sit and to voice out the answer that I would have given them anyway. Which says a lot, right? Says a lot about how much wisdom people have, but they're not willing to voice it, because if I voice the answer to my question that I do have within, I'll have to do something about it. Or if I voice the question within and I get the answer, then I have to trust myself. People don't trust themselves, they avoid doing it, they go looking for someone else to tell them what to do. Puts us in a precarious position where we're living from an outside-in model of reality, trusting everything that's going on out there instead of where source energy, God created divinity, universal intelligence, the cosmos is wanting to channel through you and support you as you flow with life on this exploration. We shove that down and we're like, no, I'm busy hunting from room to room for the diamond necklace that is already hanging around my neck. Another thing we go out searching, seeking for is belonging. I need to find where I belong. Where is my home? Where are my people? Where is the place on the planet that I will feel most at ease with myself? Where you are is where you are. Home is where, have you ever heard the word home is where your heart is? The saying, home is where the heart is. Where you are, where your heart is where your home is. The planet is where you belong. Here in yourself, connected inside yourself to this beautiful toroidal flow of energy that is moving through you. This is where you belong. You can pick yourself up and put yourself anywhere on this planet geographically, and if you don't feel like you belong to yourself and you belong to source and you can't access that here and now, no geographic place on this planet is going to make you feel any better. No new job is going to make you feel any better. No new tribe of friends is going to make you feel any better. If you cannot feel at home within yourself, knowing source is here with you wherever you go, wrapped around you, in you, through you, for you, from you. We also go out searching for validation. We go out searching for who am I? All of these things, if we are willing to be still with ourselves and cultivate a relationship with our own consciousness, which is a fragment, a fractal, a twinkle in the overall universal intelligence, the oneness, the one mind. No validation out there in the world is going to make you feel valid if you don't feel it inside yourself already. And if you've been with me in my community since I started like 2010, so 12 or so years ago, you will know that the reason we don't feel valid in ourselves, we don't feel a sense of belonging, we don't feel at home inside ourselves and supported wherever we move, geographically, physically, is because our minds have become contorted with illusionary beliefs that are conditioned into us from outside of us, that are not reflective of the divine and pure consciousness and beautiful nature that we are. In your language, that might be as a child of God. If you're an atheist, it might be something to do with energy. If you're in another faith or religion, it might be using other language. But it's that your mind has been led astray. And you don't believe those things about yourself anymore. You don't know your validness. You don't know your wholeness. You don't know your completeness. You don't know your belongingness. You don't know your enoughness. And if your mind is led astray, that you need to be something more, do something more, get something more, achieve something, then you will go out looking in the world to try to seek, search, and find it and grab onto it so that you can then feel valid, belonging, whole, complete, enough. And the ironic, crazy, sick kind of joke is that nothing outside of you will ever give you that completeness of knowing those things, because sometimes you'll get it and sometimes you won't. And you'll go on an emotional roller coaster for the rest of your life. And when you stop all of that and you sit and you say, well, what if the diamond necklace is already around my neck? Oh, what if I was already born enough, born complete, born whole, born valid, born belonging? Not to the world or to certain people or cultures or society or psychological constructs that some humans came up with however long ago that says this is what you should be as a human being and this is how you should live your life. Sweep all that aside. What if I'm all of those things already, because I am a wholly beautiful sentient being in a human body here and I belong to the cosmos of oneness. When you know that, you can go exploring in the world and have a lot of fun, but you're not seeking and searching and grasping to try to find something that isn't there. Why is validation not reliably there for you in the world? Why is your sense of belonging like a little wisp on the breeze that you seem to have it 1 minute and then, oh no, I don't have it? And that's because it's not out there. It's in here. And if your faith brings you home to that, that's amazing. And if your spirituality brings you home to that, that's amazing. And if your sense of connection to science and atheism and energy gives you that, amazing. There's nobody can tell you have to get that in a certain way. That's just more searching, seeking, finding. Oh, now I've got to go follow this person to get it. Now I've got to go to this, I've got to do these rituals, I've got to believe this in order to have it. No. None of it Imagine if you didn't have to do any of it. Imagine if you could just sit and be, and there is nothing you're missing, and there is nothing wrong with you, and there's nowhere you need to go. Shockingly true. And then you go, but then what? Then what? Have fun. Then what? From your peace, let universal intelligence, loving consciousness come through you and move in ways that feel good to you. Because you're no longer, I'm too busy for that, I'm busy searching and seeking. You know, other ways we get caught in this searching and seeking is the modern obsession with getting more, being more, doing more experiences, more adventures, more travel, more material possessions, more success, more awards, more recognition, more growth, more whatever. It's exhausting. I know, because I've been down the journey on that. It's very easy to get pulled back into it. And you only have to ask yourself the question, how's that working for me? How's that working for me? Chico seems to have something to say about that. He's stirring from his sleep over there on the couch. How's that working for me? And if it's not working for you, then the answer is not to go searching, seeking, finding something else. It's just to stop. Just to stop it. Just to not buy that structure anymore. And I would freely admit that I've been a good solid example of this. Particularly, you know, like just an absolute obsessive love with variety and newness, but also for like living the ultimate potentiality of everything. Like I want the ultimate potentiality of my career. I want the ultimate potentiality of my business. I want the ultimate potentiality of every experience, of knowing every faith, of every culture, of every place, of you name it. And, you know, there's a really beautiful element of a love for life and a love for the universe inside of that. And everything in balance, because you can go too far. And then you trick yourself into thinking it's balance when it's not. And I was listening to something about Taoist philosophy and ways of living this week, and they were talking about the fact that we get dopamine hits from achievement and from going places and from interacting with people and from more experiences and more things, and the way that we are subjected to messaging in society that we don't even question anymore. It so conditions you into be more, do more, get more, have more, something wrong with you if you are not on that gig. And from it stems in all the ways, advertising, social media, mass media, news media, the way you're raised, the way teachers talk to you in the education system, the way everybody is narrating their own life and everyone else's lives. Like if you just picked yourself up and took yourself and put yourself in nature, there's none of that. And then you pick yourself up and you put yourself in modern society and it's everywhere. And it's beautiful when it prompts an opening and an expansiveness. And it's, I don't want to say toxic, but you could call it toxic. It can be harmful when it is not prompting expansiveness, but it's triggering something isn't right. I can't be at peace. I need to do more, be more, get more, have more before I can arrive at a place where I can be peaceful and be happy. So, solutions. When we are more interested in a relationship of stillness within than the busyness of our outer life, and there's nothing wrong with a busy outer life, by the way, I love a busy outer life, but when we are more enamored and cherishing of and giving space for a sacred inner experience of ourselves and cultivating a relationship with not our personality and our ego and our mind, but with a stillness, a heart center, with the energy of life force inside our bodies, and thus with the cosmic intelligence that's constantly operating every cell of your body, beating your heart, breathing you, through things like meditation, simple stillness, presence practice. When we do those things, we come into right relationship with ourselves. Oh, I'm not broken. Oh, I am whole and complete. Oh, I do belong right where I am. I'm at home wherever I go. I belong everywhere. You don't look as much to the outside world to tell you who you are, to tell you what to do, to tell you what you need. And you get more answers, you get more clarity, you get more peace, you get more happiness. And I mean, I've been on a very long journey of personal growth and spirituality in every different direction and down all the different rabbit holes. And it keeps circling back to the same thing, and that is that the old me was like, it's so boring. It's so boring to just be in meditation and be in stillness. And surely it can't be that simple. And, you know, I want it to be more. And I would never change all the many adventures that I've been on psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, and in the physical world for what I've learned from it. And yet, when you circle back, it is critical, if you don't want to go insane in this world, and you actually want to know who you are, and you actually want to move in synchronized flow with that which created you, and intelligent energy, and you want synchronicity in your life, you want miracles in your life, you want organic unfolding in your life, you want solutions to problems to become clear, you want ease and grace in your relationships, you want health in your body, you want to live in flow and ease and peace and happiness and joy and excitement. It is critical to cherish and value and know the worth of a stillness and a practice of meditation or mindfulness or presence. It's not for me to say what that is for you. These are just words, like people like meditation. What's meditation? There's a million different ways people meditate. Not for me to say. But you will know, because it's coming into a stillness and relationship with the you that doesn't have a name, the you that is not a certain gender identity, the you that is not an ethnicity, the you that does not care for what your age is or how much money you have or where you live or what you do or blah, 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 or the past or the future. It's the ever-present awareness of you. And even saying you's not right, because it makes you think of you, the personality self. The deeper you go into meditation practice, the more you lose yourself. And when you lose yourself, the irony is you find yourself. And it's not the self that you know with your name and who you see when you look in the mirror. It's the part of you that is connected with everything. And that's when you realize, oh, I don't have to do anything or go anywhere or be anything to have peace and happiness and to have fulfillment and to be my highest potential, because I am already now, and now I can just play and have fun. And I don't need to find where I belong, because I belong nowhere and everywhere, and I'm at home inside myself. And really, like, cherish anything that takes you there. It's not for anyone else to say, oh, my way of meditating is better than your way, or my religion's better than your religion, or, you know, you have to believe in this, or you have to believe in that. Whatever. Like, just whatever to that. Because who is anyone to diminish or challenge what brings you home? The rest is all just ego and mind and opinions, wanting to be right? And making others wrong. So part of the exploration is finding your way to what that is and what that looks like for you. The other interesting thing, and I talked about this a little bit in a Live Within a Peace course that I made a long time ago, is that often when we are wanting so much to feel expansive and significant, right? We all have this, the ego and the mind wants to be significant. Oh, I am somebody, I'm special, I'm, meant to be doing something meaningful and purposeful, and look at my life and my problems are so important, and these things that happen to me are so important, and all the things I want to do in my life are so important. And it's like this massive overinflation of importance on experiences, things, past, future, and self. And we go out into the world with this sense of wanting that to be even more significant, wanting ourselves in terms of our personality selves to be more significant. You know what the irony is? It's like kind of absurd and hilarious. Tell me if you've ever experienced this. The more you go out into the world, either geographically or online or in your work or in your relationships or whatever, you go more out into the world seeking to become significant, the smaller you feel. The more insignificant and the more tiny you feel in the vastness of the planet, and the vastness of 7 billion people all doing this, the vastness of there's a million other people that are just like you, experiencing trauma and challenges from the past and stuff going on in their present and aspirations for the future and awesome creations they're doing for their work and business and relationship. There's just lots of different expressions, and we're all doing our thing. The more you realize that you're not going to get significance or feel more expanded out there. And yet, when you go within and you ask anybody who does either meditation practice regularly or has had a significant spiritual experience or energetic experience of some time, when you go inside and you connect with the vastness of universal consciousness, you will feel so grand and expansive and limitless, like nothing else you will ever experience. And the outer world and anything you experience out there can't even touch the sides of it. So ironic. And everything we want is hanging around our own neck, like the diamond necklace in the quote. And I want to leave you with this beautiful sentence, which is from one of my favorite poems of all time, which is by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. And by the way, like, how amazing is that name? And she has a very well-known piece of writing called The Invitation. And to honor her work, I just suggest that you go to her own website and you read it yourself rather than me reading it to you. I'm sure by visiting that website, you could buy the books or read the poem on her website if you want to. But the final line of that poem is what I'm going to leave you with. And it's so beautiful, and it really speaks to how comfortable are we to stop the outer seeking searching and to sit with ourselves long enough to go beyond our mind, our ego, our pain, our beliefs, our discomfort with sitting still, our desire to avoid boredom, all of the stuff, and to go beyond all of the layers of the mind and the ego and the restlessness, to settle down and sit in the nothingness with ourselves, because from nothing comes everything. The final line in that poem goes like this: I want to know if you can be alone by yourself, and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. I hope this video has been inspiring in some way for you. I hope it maybe prompts some spaciousness for you to have more peace, to breathe, to maybe explore the diamond necklace that's already around your neck. And if it has been useful, please maybe leave me a comment below. If you're here on social media, please subscribe if you're not subscribed already, so that we can stay in touch. Share this with anyone that you think might find it useful. If you need more help, you can come over and visit me for coaching support programs over at thedailypositive.com, www.thedailypositive.com, and I look forward to seeing you again really soon.